All right, everybody. Welcome to another video of Ohio Game Talks. This one is another list video talking about all the different leagues, and I'm going to talk about these four in particular, which you guys know are the four ones that I follow. We got the MLB, the NFL, college football, and the NBA, man. So I'm going to go through each team and tell you here's the criteria that I chose: the greatest championship, in the sense, not the greatest team. For example, spoiler alert for the NBA, I think the 96 Chicago Bulls are the greatest NBA team to ever live. But in my opinion, it's not the greatest championship because, it depends on your path, it depends on the context of it all. And I gotta be honest, I really wanted to pick some other ones, but I came to a conclusion and I'm pretty set on my opinions. Some may seem obvious, some may not. I'll leave it up for you guys to decide. But this one is the greatest championship in these respective sports. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, and I will take you through it. Let's start off with the MLB. So for the MLB, I know there's a lot of ways that I guess you could go, but I'm actually going to go with the 2004 Boston Red Sox. Here's why. I know a lot of people are going to be salty, especially Cubs fans, because they felt like it should be them because we ended a 108-year curse and all. We came back from a 3-1 deficit. That's cool and all, but how about coming back from 3-0 against your biggest rival in all of baseball? I feel like that series has enough. And also, it's not like they didn't have a drought themselves. I mean, they had a drought of 86 years. And, they were the only team in MLB history to come back from an 0-3 deficit against the New York Yankees of all teams, their biggest rival, their most hated rival. And they took out the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series to snap an 86-year curse. Thank you very much for that, Boston Red Sox. And, after multiple attempts to get back to the World Series and came up short, such against teams like the Reds in 1975, when we beat them in 7 games in a classic 7-game series, which was the first of back-to-back for the Reds. But this ended a long-year curse, too, and I think the 3-0 deficit, coming back against your most hated rival, and, just a combination of factors and the adversity that it took to get there, I have to give the edge to the Boston Red Sox, and I'm not sorry, Cubs fans, by the way. Yeah, that was a great championship, but no, you do not belong at the top of this list. I'm going with the 2004 Boston Red Sox, and I love this picture, by the way. That sad St. Louis Cardinals player in the back. Feels pretty good, doesn't it, Albert Pujols? Anyway, I'm going with the 2004 Boston Red Sox. And moving on to the NFL. This one may seem obvious, maybe not. I'm not sure. I was going back and forth. I was going between, I would say, 2 different teams in particular. But I got the 2007 New York Giants making this list. Here's why. I mean, obviously, yeah, you can go with 28-3 because it's the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history and all that. Yeah, I mean, that was Tom Brady's defining moment. And I would say the game where he definitively became the GOAT to many of us, including myself. But I got to go with the Giants, man. I mean, you look at this team, man. I mean, they lost to New England in the regular season, first of all, when New England was, they obviously went undefeated in the regular season. But then, thanks to David Tyree helmet catch and Plaxico Burress getting that game-winning touchdown, the Giants are now considered unsung heroes, man, because 18-1, that's got to sting for the New England Patriots. I mean, yeah, they have 6 rings. Yeah, they went to 9 Super Bowls in Brady's tenure there. But my God, this one, if they got this one, I mean, the Giants, they saved a lot of fans in America who hate the Patriots from a lot, because they'd have 8 rings and they'd have an undefeated record if not for the Giants. So you could thank Eli Manning, again, an unsung hero who cost the Patriots a chance of having 8 Super Bowls. And you would be looking Brady. Yeah, you could say, oh, what's the difference? 6 and 8. Trust me, you would look at Brady and Belichick in a totally different light if they had 8 instead of 6. But I got the Giants. Moving on to the NBA. Again, call me biased. I don't give a crap, but I am going with the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. So yeah, I mean, the path to the finals, yeah, it wasn't the hardest path. I mean, they went 4-0, 4-0, 4-2. I mean, they were 12-2 heading into the finals. They beat the Pistons. They beat the Raptors. They beat the Hawks. I mean, it took them 6 games to beat the Raptors after 2 tough games in Toronto, which led to a 2-2 tie, and then they won the next 2. Yeah, that was a tough series, but I guess not really, because, I mean, I thought LeBron, I'll get into this, but as a fan, I thought LeBron sacrificed one of those games to get Kevin Love going, and I think many other people felt the same way. But, I mean, they breezed through the finals, yeah. But how about being down 3-1 to a 73-9 team? They're coming off a 3-1 comeback themselves against a really, really good Oklahoma City team. You drop 3 of the first 4 games, 1 on your home floor, 2 you lose in dominant fashion in Golden State. And your city is on a 50-plus year sports drought. Ohio as a whole, I mean, you can count that Buckeye championship, sure, but even they were over 25 years, I believe. I mean, they were 26 years at the time because the Reds were the 1990 champs. So that was Ohio sports was on a 26-year curse and Cleveland sports was on a 52-year curse. But what happened? The block, the shot, the stop brings Cleveland its first NBA title and our only NBA title, which is still the best in NBA history, to snap a 52-year curse and bring the championship to the city of Cleveland and the state of Ohio. Thank you, LeBron. Thank you, 2016 Cavaliers. I'm hoping we can do it again. But I can't deny to you, man, this is the greatest ring in NBA history. My bias is showing, but I don't really think it's a bias take at all. I think it's the greatest championship in NBA history. The 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers for the NBA. And lastly, we move on to college football. As much as I want and really, really want to pick the 2024 Ohio State Buckeyes, and I really wanted to, the first 12-team postseason, very, very tough run going through Oregon, going through Texas, going through, obviously, I mean, I don't want to count Tennessee, but, you know, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame in the last 3. I mean, those were tough games, man. But as much as I want to do that, I got to go with the 2005 Texas Longhorns, and I am going to tell you why. So in 2005, not only did they have a good season, but in 2005, I mean, Vince Young, he had a 13-0 record. And, you know, he was, I mean, in the Rose Bowl, he was named the Rose Bowl player of the game, obviously. But that was considered the best game in Rose Bowl history. And that was also the only time that Texas beat Ohio State, the only other time that they played, obviously. But, you know, they played in the 2005-2006, the Rose Bowl, and they ended up winning that game over the USC Trojans in... Again, they were USC was the back-to-back defending champs. They were on a 34-game winning streak. And somehow, some way, the Longhorns were able to pull it out and secure, in my opinion, the hardest championship in college football history. So, yeah, I really, really wanted to pick the Ohio State Buckeyes to be on this list. But I got to be, if I'm going to be objective, and if you guys want to call me biased for picking the Cavs, you got to look at the objectivity I'm having here. I got the 2005-2006 Texas Longhorns. Again, they ended pretty much a three-peat, a dynasty, if you want to call it that, in college football. It has to be them. And Vince Young put together one of the greatest seasons in history. So I'm going to go with the 2005 Texas Longhorns with a little bit of bitterness because I really wanted to put us on this list. But, you know, if I'm going to be an objective and a sports fan that does, you know, that tries not to show the bias on these type of videos, I have to put Texas right here. So I'm going to go with the 2005-2006 Texas Longhorns. You're welcome, Texas, but we still beat you in the Cotton Bowl this year. But that's going to do it, guys. You know, I hope you enjoyed this mini little video I made. Wanted to just touch on who I think is the greatest champion in each of these 4 sports. And I got to be honest with you, these were not easy to pick, but I think a lot of you have some expectation of me putting a different thing because of the criteria that you guys may have for the greatest championship. But I pretty much took everything that I wanted to into account, and that's why I picked these teams. So I'm just going to ride with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who is the greatest champion? Is it the Cavs? Is it the Patriots? Is it, you know, any other team that I picked or didn't pick that you agree or disagree with? Let me know in the comments below. You guys have a great one. Go Ohio, as always. And I'll see you guys next time.